That's one reason the police don't have to hunt nobody. All they got to do is sit alongside the 4-lane here, because everybody's got to go up and down this road.
Yeah, that's it's kind of a, if you're going from,
like I say, I've seen one-horse towns. There's only one road town I've ever seen.
You ain't been to Jacksboro?
Yeah.
Well, I consider all this one road, one town. You know, it's just divided up who gets the money.
They even built a road around Jacksboro. They didn't have one road.
well, if they hadn't have built that road, did that,
Well,
Can you imagine what that would be now?
Jacksboro actually has two main thoroughfares.
I know.
Sure
That's what I
does. They got
just said.
this road here, and then they've got the one that goes through town.
Well, we remember when there wasn't but one road.
Right.
I remember when the old building was there. Do you remember the old building that had the musket balls in the logs? Do you remember that?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that old building that sat there on the right where the post office is now, it was a 2-story log
Yeah.
thing. They was musket balls in there from the Civil War where they had a little skirmish down
Yeah.
there.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, we ought to save that for. That ought to have been designated a
cost
historical building. You
Yeah.
can't build no post office here.
That's right.
You know, the only thing we have to be careful of, we do not want to inhibit people when we build new roads here from being able to reach down in Sawmill Holler and go down to Digger Wilson's propane store. Now, we want to make sure that, you know, we got a sign up here on the 4-lane that says propane that way, and we want to make sure if we put a no road in, the first thing we do is put a propane sign over there.
Well, what we do is we just move Digger to the middle of the road.
Well, we's already in the middle of the road.
I know. You're going to go around him. We
Right.
want to move him over there where they can't get around him.
But you need to go down to Digger Wilson. They had a good crowd down there today. They're getting filled up all this cold weather. And he's got the best propane for the money anywhere you can get. You can get in excess of 42 flavors of propane to cook on or to heat with. And I know he's got the best prices in town.
What's his number? 562-5444?
No, 5444.
Not 5444.
That's what I said. 562-5444.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always get that.
Wilson's propane.
I always get that confused with
Yeah,
that
I get
there
it.
Vital Care
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, well, Vital Care, you know, Vital Care keep you warm on the way to the hospital if you are needing transportation. If you're going in the summertime, they'll keep you cool. So they got all the comforts of home if you need to be transported from one medical facility to the other, or if they need to pick you up alongside the highway, they'll do that also. And it's a locally owned business. Got over 40 years of experience in the ambulance business. They've got the only portable ventilator available in this area. They've got modern, up-to-date equipment, and you can reach them at 562-9370.
That's it. 9370.
562-9370. That's Vital Care Medical Transport.
Yeah, we got that figured out pretty good. But
And you have to be careful also out there, since we're going to be bringing Maryville into the modern age out there.
yeah, Dimly, they'll get out. Everybody will stop and eat pizza.
We'll make sure we don't bypass Dimmer Mark.
They'll be so busy eating pizza they won't have time to build a road.
Right, they do that.
Yeah, you call them, order your pizza.
Right.
352-6111.
Right. That's, what is it?
352
6111.
6111.
All right, that's
6121.
6111.
Yeah.
11.
6121.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
If it's 21, why ain't it
You ought to
21?
go out there. Got a little bit of everything out there. Their fishing worms are guaranteed to catch fish, or they will die trying.
I'd go with that die trying if it's my hook.
Right.
I tell you what, they got the best worms in town. They really do. Big old fat juicy ones.
Yeah, I know
Makes
that.
you hungry just to hook
Yeah.
one up.
Yeah.
It's a shame it don't work on the fish
Yeah.
for me.
I tell you what, they're pretty good. I'm sure those worms are, but the only thing I could get to eat them the other day was turtles.
Me too. You have that problem?
Yeah. And they wasn't big ones either, little bitty ones.
Yeah, I can't bait a hook. I can't catch anything anymore for the turtles and little bitty minnows.
Right, yeah. Exactly right.
I even put some chicken liver in the sock, and they squished it out through the sock and left the sock.
But you need to go out to them remark. They got a little bit of everything. I think they're carrying a little bit of hardware line, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got some of everything. And,
yeah, and a little bit of everything right out
right
there, just
interesting
like a
place.
country store ought to handle.
They're kind of like auto parts at Napa.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they might become a substation for Napa, yeah. Good bait. You know, Napa is one of the oldest automobile parts distributorships that I know of. It's been around seemingly about all of my life. They have big distribution centers in various parts of the country. There was one not too far from where I lived in North Carolina, and I believe that's the distribution center that services this area here. Napa is the National Automobile Parts Association. They have over a quarter of a million parts readily on hand, and they've got access probably to a million more. And you can't beat them. They got specials on motor oil, specials on batteries, specials on car jacks, little car jacks to go up under the back of your car where you don't have to crawl around on the ground. They've got good antifreeze and transmission fluid and just whatever you want. They're right up there located across from IGA on the 4-lane. And, you know, even if they put in another highway, people will find some way to get across there to Napa to buy what they need. That's Napa Auto Parts. You can call them at 562-2529 and get a straight line right on into Napa.
Well, anything, if there's something you've got an oddity that they don't have,
Right.
if you can ask them by, I believe it's 3 o'clock or maybe a little later than that, they'll have it for you by 8 o'clock the next morning.
They will do that.
Yeah, and I see that truck, if I'm going out late, a lot of times I'll see that truck there at 8 or 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night unloading parts, you know, for the next morning.
Right. Well, a lot of stuff, if you go in there by 10, 11 o'clock during the day, they'll have it there for you right after lunch.
Yeah, that's right. I believe they got two drops.
They
That's
sure
right.
will.
Yeah.
Good
Sure
people. Randy's a real good person, locally owned, locally franchised. Need to drop in up and do some business with the people at Napa Auto Parts, right across from IGA on the 4-lane.
Yeah. Well,
what's happening other than here locally?
Well, I watched the debate the other night and whatever for what it's worth, but there's something that's been catching my attention, and that's what Russia's doing in Syria.
Doing what?
Syria?
Yeah.
They're moving.
Well, did you know, are you aware that today our Secretary of Defense met with his counterpart from Russia to jointly fight ISIS?
Are they allowed to call them ISIS now?
Well, Russia's going to fight ISIS. I don't know what the United States is going to fight. Same people, just don't have a name for them.
It's interesting.
So, yeah, it's a real unusual situation. We're fighting ISIS, and Syria is fighting ISIS, and we're fighting Syria, and so we got a real odd situation over there. It's all been created by Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama.
The thing, last I heard an account, they said that ISIS had 30,000 active combatants, possibly 50,000 at the most, but about 30,000. And I don't understand why that we can't deal with that. I mean,
how can you fight something if you can't even give it a name?
Well, that's a good point too. But I think our military can deal with things if they're allowed to do it. I saw an article, and it kind of stuck with me. This guy, he's a soldier, and they was doing something. They was talking with him, whatever, and he seen this guy, and he was suspicious of this person. Somehow, you know what I'm saying? If you're in a situation, after a while, you get to where you pick up on things, whether you even see it or not. Subconsciously, you're suspicious of everything. But this one character, he was suspicious of him. So he called in. You have to call in before you can take a shot.
Right.
So he had to call in to get permission.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy had ducked into something or whatever else. The next time he saw him on a building. And the first time he saw him, he didn't see a weapon. Second time he did. And this guy, from what I can understand, took 2 shots, possibly hit one of our soldiers or something. But this soldier had a kind of a wide open situation, but he had to stop and ask permission. He had to give the details and
well, that's one thing. The rules of engagement that we're operating under has to be changed. That's one reason when they asked Donald Trump, or they made the statement that Barack Obama was a Muslim, and Trump did not correct him. I don't think Trump had any obligation to correct that man. That man has the right to feel like he wants to. And in all honesty, I think probably the majority of the people in this country feel that Barack Obama is a Muslim.
Has he ever denied it to amount to anything? I know.
Making them, he's professed Christians, but so was a lot of people in jail for murder, you know,
yeah. So... the thing, when he made the statement that somebody had challenged his Christian, or his faith, let me put it that way, and he responded something. It was in an interview with the guy that used to be with the Clintons all the time. I can't think of his name now. He's a mayor of Chicago, I believe, or something.
Okay.
But anyhow,
Daley.
No, it's since him. I'm thinking Stephanopoulos.
Okay.
I don't know. He may not be a mayor or something. But anyhow, Stephanopoulos was interviewing him, and most people have forgot that. And Obama said that they had challenged or something about his Muslim faith. They challenged his Muslim faith. And he corrected him, said, "You mean your Christian faith?" "Oh, yeah, that's what I mean."
Right.
But your faith, I don't think that you would have a slip of the tongue about certain things. Now, it don't seem to me like. But he also made the statement that he had visited, I think, 56 or 57 states in the United States. And he only liked one state, visiting all of them. So, you know, this is something we learn in the 2nd and 3rd grade. How many states there are? Right. And for a person to make that mistake, and whatever the number was, it was exactly the same number of states of Muslim states there is.
Right. Well, you can't tell me he sat over in those Muslim schools and read the Quran all day in, day out, without it having some profound effect on his psychology.
Well, we're kind of in some deep stink. It looks to me like I don't see any good news on the news, except now if you watch the national news, they've got 1 minute, I believe, of some kind of good news at the very end of the news forecast. And I've gotten out of where I don't watch too much of it because it's nothing but commercials.
Right.
There's no end to the commercials.
Right.
They go up to, I think it's about 6:53, I believe, and then they start another commercial, and then they come back on for about 45 seconds, and then they go into commercials again. And then they've got about 3 minutes more of commercials. And as far as actual news, I'd say you're probably lucky if you get 15 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Most likely.
Sure.
So,
sure.
And
well, you know, the debate the other night wasn't a debate. All that was a program designed to create conflict between the Republican candidates. And mainly, had all of them piling on Donald Trump.
Well, they quote something that said, and I thought it was interesting when they asked Dr. Carson a question, and they prefaced it by something he said, and he corrected them. He said, "That is not what I said," and he laid it out, and it had to do with immigration. And I think what the statement was that he was for amnesty.
Why?
And he corrected them. He said he did not say that, and he laid out
Yeah, I heard
his
that.
plan,
Right.
which sounded like a pretty good plan to me. I mean,
Right.
it sounds workable, and fair. As well, I don't know how I'm trying to think. Some people are the opinion that anybody that, well, let me back up and say it this way. We have different agreements with different countries. Now, Cuba, if a person from Cuba sets foot on American soil, he's got, I don't know what you call it, amnesty or whatever, but he gets to stay. That came up during this, what was it, the boat thing where they turned all the people loose?
With Jimmy Carter, yeah.
Yeah. But there was an article the other day, and I didn't watch all of it.
Did you see Jimmy kissing his wife on television?
I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
he was at a ball game, and he gave Rosalind a kiss, and it was the same kind of kiss he gave Fidel Castro.
Was?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch this thing, but there was 12 people, my understanding, or if I remember correctly, 12 that made it to the shore.
How many?
12 on a
You
boat.
know how many's come this year from
Well,
Cuba? 4,000
From
have
Cuba?
made it from Cuba
Okay.
to here.
The agreement, and I didn't listen to the argument on it or the discussion, but once the people from Cuba set foot on the ground, when they're out of the water and they set foot on the ground, then they have
Well, under the
political-
agreement we had,
yeah,
we have now, or the policy we have,
Yeah.
there's no agreement with Cuba. The policy we have is
with
if
the
they
people.
set foot on American soil, they are here to stay.
right.
And then they have to go through becoming a citizen.
Right.
But they're not illegal when they come.
I saw something it's been a month or two ago,
Right.
where we intercepted a submarine, but it wasn't actually totally subbed. It run underneath kind of the surface of the water,
Right,
but it
the
wasn't,
top of it stuck out. Son.
right. It wasn't totally submerged,
Right.
and we intercepted this thing, and it had oodlums of heroin on it, or cocaine or heroin. I believe it's heroin.
Cocaine.
Maybe it's cocaine.
Several tons
Yeah.
of cocaine.
But what I couldn't understand is, why did we intercept that thing at sea? Why did we not wait? Once it's at sea and it's out there, you can track it from that point. Once you see and it's a suspicious
Right.
vessel, you can track it. And I don't understand why they didn't just hold back and track that thing, because they're going to know where it's going to touch ground, and it's going to take a long time to unload it and whatever else.
Right.
Seems to me like they could apprehend quite a few people that way. Plus, they've still got the boat and the narcotics. But it makes no sense to me to apprehend them out in the middle of the ocean. To see where they're coming in and who's meeting them.
Well, that's true. They do a lot of things crazy. You know, I forget how many tons of cocaine were on that vessel, and but when they took it off, I think the thing sunk with several tons still left on it.
Did they sink it, or did it sink on
It
its own?
sunk. I think it
Why?
went. It went. I don't know.
Well, if they had, they could put a line on it and keep it from sinking too. But
It
now,
looks like they
if it
could
sunk, if it sunk of its own accord, then if they'd have left it alone, it would have still took care of itself. If it didn't sink from damage done to it while apprehending it.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. I'll look that up. I'm pretty sure it sunk on its own. In other words, we didn't sink it, and there's supposed to be about 12 tons of heroin left. Cocaine left on the boat, which kept all the fishies happy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that wolf fish on television?
Wolf fish.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe I did.
It kind of looks like a wolf in the face, big old fish. Usually I don't think they get like what, about 8 or 10 pounds, and this fella had one that weighed somewhere around 65 to 70 pounds. Big old fish, very unusual fish.
Yeah.
You ever spend any time around the coast?
Not a great lot. I've been there. It was interesting, but it's one of them things. Like once I saw the ocean, once was enough. I pretty much.
I lived down there for a while. I've had a little experience down around the coast, and I like it. It's okay, you know.
Oh yeah.
And, it's almost the one thing I do like about it. Rather than living up here, when you open the door down there, it stays open. Up here, if you open the door, you either have to hold it open with your foot, or it will slam on you, or it'll swing wide open and break off.
You talking about because of the breeze, the wind?
No, I'm talking about because of the level of the land up here. You're always on the side of a hill, you know.
Well, it's kind of like these cattle around here. Some of them got 2 short legs and 2 long legs.
Right, yeah.
They walk around these hillsides so much.
We're having some beautiful fall weather coming into fall. The night times feel like fall weather, but the daytime still feel like July to me.
Yeah. Well, it won't be long.
No, it sure won't. It's supposed to frost by this weekend, according to Ronnie, but I don't believe it's going to make it.
Well, he says within 2 weeks, so
well,
if
after
he gets
2 weeks, he keeps updating it 2 weeks, 2 weeks. You know. But when he first said it, this is the deadline.
Well,
okay.
I believe he may readjust it just a little bit.
It's about like the people with global warming, I guess. They're constantly making adjustments, you know.
I heard, I'm always listening, especially when it comes to this global warming thing. Of course, I told you what the president said whenever he went up to Alaska.
Right.
And the thing was melting, and we got to build more snow breakers, or ice breakers, excuse me.
Why in the world we need to build more ice breakers if you got global warming?
They said the truth of the matter is that we're actually gaining ice on somewhere on the other side or something. That we're not losing. We're losing it in a certain area, a certain place, but gaining it in another place.
Right. Yeah.
So
I know Antarctica's gaining.
There's a thing that I keep hearing about, and I bet Ronnie could tell us about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Have you heard anything about this collider in Switzerland? About where they're going to take it up to full steam on the 23rd?
Is that when we create that black hole and the world gets swallowed?
I don't know. They claim that they're shooting their particle, and I think it's a particle of hydrogen, I believe. They said that they've reached 99% of the speed of light, and Oak Ridge says that they've reached 90%. And my understanding is that this collider in Switzerland is going to turn it up on full power on the 23rd, and they're going to see if they can't get that other 1% or 1.5% or whatever.
Can't do it. You can't reach the speed of light.
They can't turn up the power, or they can't make it.
You cannot go the speed of light from rest.
Well, there is one thing that goes the speed of light.
Light.
Yeah, that's right. Light goes the speed of light.
And there are particles that go faster than the speed of light. But they start out faster than the speed of light. I don't know how.
Okay. But they're riding on a fast train. And maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to hook it to a fast train and then fire it. But I keep hearing about it, reading what I can on it, and there's a whole lot of wire and copper in there and magnetic fields. This one, I read an article. Did you read the article today about Oak Ridge and their bomb-grade uranium or fuel that they shipped?
No.
Well, they shipped it out, and when it got to its destination, it turned out there's a considerable amount more or something. They won't tell how much more than was shipped.
How can that be?
Well, They're investigating that to find out how that happened. And my understanding from where I read the article, once it got to its destination, the receiver recognized that they had more than what they had ordered, and thus they come and shipped it back for some reason back to Oak Ridge. And this supposedly happened back a few weeks back or something. What do they prove if they can shoot this hydrogen particle faster than the speed of light? What do they prove?
Howdy. Looking for Bob?
Who is it?
You're being
I'll be out in
summoned.
a minute.
You're being summoned there.
We just got 3 minutes. You want
Yeah.
to close her down?
What?
I said,
Well,
we just got 3
Gi-
minutes.
give
Yeah, we're about ready to close out here. Looks like, folks, we've had a good time. Sat there doing nothing.
Yeah.
I've helped out a lot today.
Indoctrinate.
Right.
You push the button.
We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. on WLAF 1450 or WLAF 100.9 FM. See ya.
They're 1450WLAF.com. And I'll turn us off here in a minute.
See what time.